Welcome back to another Discogs Decides. This is where I'm using the Discogs app to go through my record collection and share some random records with you guys on a somewhat often basis. This is all just in an effort to share more things from the collection and not really overthink it or do those kinds of things like I always do. If you're not familiar, Discogs is a fantastic app that you should be using with your record collection that allows you to catalog your entire collection. You can also shop from there as well. So you do have to go into your collections tab. Once you do that, you can shake the app and it'll give you a random record. So let's see what we get. And Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, I Learned the Hard Way, one of my favorites. So I actually didn't realize this, but Discogs actually decided on something interesting here. So we'll get both of them out. So this is Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings' fourth record. The first one being Dap Dippin' with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. The second being Naturally. The third being 100 Days and 100 Nights. And this one, they really start to get into more of a 70s vibe than the 60s stuff that they were doing in the early days. Now, what Discogs actually decided on though is this, which is the I Learned the Hard Way 7-inch box set, which was released on Black Friday Record Store Day in 2010. I didn't even know that Record Store Day existed back then, and I got this back when it came out. I must have just seen it on the Daptone website and bought it from there. But this is a 7-inch collection of the entire album. What's really awesome though is that every B-side of this has the instrumental, which you don't usually get with this album. So that was one of the main reasons I got this, because you get all the instrumentals of this on the B-sides of all these 45s, which are really, really great. It's a really awesome booklet that comes with this, with all these great collage photos from the tours that they did and studio sessions, including things with Lee Fields and Charles Bradley, which is just fantastic to have. Here is the stack of 45s that you get, which is really cool. Very awesome. As you can see, I have the older sleeves on these. I haven't gone through and cleaned these yet, so I'll probably do that now that I have taken this whole thing out, which I haven't listened to in a while. It's another great thing about this Discogs Decides thing. It's pulling out records that I haven't checked out in a long time. This record from Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings is kind of a very big move for them, in my opinion. As you can see here, even with like the look of them, they kind of started shifting into like a 70s vibe with like more grand orchestrations and things like that. They brought in guys like Toby Pasner and different other instrumentalists here for arrangements and stuff like that. So it's really, really great. If you have never heard this record, go check it out. I believe Zia Records has another variation color out there. I'm probably going to pick that up at some point in the future just because I want everything that Daptone's ever produced. So if you don't know this one, definitely go check out Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings' I Learned the Hard Way, one of my favorite records. Kind of just doing this here because I'm using a different microphone setup here and a different lighting setup here. So let me know what you think about all this and let me know if you think any of this sounds or looks good or whatever. Back to the collection. So let's see what the next thing Discogs Decides here is. I'm very excited. Awesome. Again, we're gonna probably get a ton of Daptone 45s from this because I have over 200 of them back there. So it's probably gonna mostly pick these, but this is a very good one. So let me go grab this one off the shelf. This is Bob and Jean, You Gave Me Love, back with Your Name. So this is actually one of the very first 45s that I ever bought. And this was one of the first records I even bought too. They put this out and this is one of the first reissues that they ever did. It was one of the first records that ever introduced me to the concept of old master tapes getting reissued by new labels. Gabriel Roth at Daptone Records got the master tapes for Bob and Jean, which is a soul duo, I believe from New York, but I think they might actually be from the South. I'm not sure exactly where they're from, but I do know that this record and the few 45s that they released back in the 60s and 70s were extremely sought after. I know to get this original Modu 45 is like, I think it's like $700 out there. It's one of those extremely rare 45s that you can never find, and if you do, it's an extreme grail. So this reissue came out in 2006. The original record came out in 1967 and is actually on a yellow label, but this Modu label is very, very iconic, so I think that's why Daptone went back to this label when they reissued this in 2006. When Daptone first reissued these, this was the first introduction for me getting into like deep soul stuff and getting into stuff that wasn't just like funk or like James Brown type funk stuff. I was really into funk. I was really into that kind of thing, and especially instrumental music. But this song, You Gave Me Love, is really sweet, especially by these guys' voices. I mean, they were like kids when they were singing this thing, and it just sounds so good. And then the backing track, Your Name, a little bit faster. And this is also my first introduction to like really raw production, because man, some of the production on this, I mean, even some of the timing, if you're somebody who's like a real big audiophile or like, you know, you only listen to stuff that's super well produced, this is maybe not your jam, because I mean, I think it's well produced, but it's just one microphone in a room, you know, and it's just a couple of kids just trying to get this thing together. And they actually released an entire LP after this. And then they also, Daptone has gone back and done re-versions of some of their stuff with reggae tracks, so it's even sicker. So definitely go check out Bob and Jean if you've never heard of that. Let's do another here and see what else Discogs decides on that. All right, Joe Cocker, self-titled. Let's go take this one off the shelf. So Discogs is definitely taking it back to the early days of my collection. This is one of the very first records that I ever bought. I think I got it for like 99 cents at a flea market or something like that. I forget exactly where I got it. I know I got it with a bunch of other records, but this also got a lot of water damage to it too, because when I was living in a college house, my college basement flooded, and this was one of the records that got damaged in it, so the cover got kind of damaged. And I'm pretty sure the record itself is not in very good condition, so that's why it doesn't really live with my actual collection. But this is another good thing about this Discogs Decide series. It's gonna make me break this out, it's gonna make me clean it and evaluate it and see if it's worth keeping or if I need to go get a new one. I'm probably gonna need to go get a new one, and now I'm gonna wanna go get a new one of this record. But this is Joe Cocker's self-titled album from 1969. This is on A&M Records. This is an OG copy, so I'll probably hang on to this, but it's pretty awesome to have. She Came In Through the Bathroom Window is the main reason why I bought this record. If you're not familiar with this record, or if you're not familiar with Joe Cocker, he's a great growly soul singer, kind of like a rock soul singer, and I'm pretty sure he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is just a travesty. I don't really get much into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff, but the fact that somebody like him's not in it is proof of why that's just kind of a farce place to be in. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. Joe Cocker, definitely go check out this record. Another classic rock, awesome record. Okay, so Discogs decided on some pretty awesome records today. Again, it's pretty cool that it's finding ones that I first got in my collection. It's making me kind of reminisce about when I first started collecting records, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. It got me into records that I haven't really checked out in a while. So if you're enjoying this, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see some other videos on the channel, go check those out right here, and I will see you guys on the next one.